And good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News, coming to you from our digital desk. We've been reporting for quite some time that Cleveland Hopkins is in the midst of a 15 to 20 year sort of master plan to renovate the airport, make it a little bit more modern. Some of that construction you can see if you're traveling this weekend for the holidays. Some of it, like the tear down of the old Sheraton Hotel, has already begun. But it is this next step that Cleveland Hopkins International Airport and the administration, the staff there, is asking for your voice and your opinion. They have just launched a new survey that will run through, I believe, mid-January. This is the survey itself. We'll just scroll through a couple of the questions. You see their mission statement for this project. So you identify your age. I thought this was an interesting question and something I always think about when I have friends and family come in from out of town. Here's question number 5. List 3 locations, activities, or other things in Cleveland and or Northeast Ohio that you would take a first-time visitor to. A must-see while they are in the area. They're really with this, and then this question number 9 is very interesting. You need to complete the phrase, Cleveland is, and then you see the different choices. Cleveland is iconic. Cleveland is bridges and steel. So you see what they're going after here. What do people identify as Cleveland? And we're going to have a conversation about this survey and the intentions with their public information officer, Michelle Dinya. She's joining us. How are you today, Michelle?
Doing well. How are you?
Hey, thanks for taking some time with us today. Give us the idea behind this survey. What are you looking for? How should people view this? And how will this work in the redevelopment, the $2 billion redevelopment over the years to come?
Sure. So what we're really the biggest picture of what we're trying to do is what makes Cleveland, Cleveland, or Northeast Ohio, right? We want to know the people who have lived here and work here and thrive here. What about this city stands out the most to you? So what we're looking to do is when we start designing this future airport, right? We still have a lot of work to do, and now this is part of that information gathering aspect of it. So, closely looking at our demographics, senses, emotions, and ultimately give us insight into when you think about our area, what strikes a chord with you, right? And you went through some of the questions like, when you were growing up, what memories do you have? What places do you have memories of here in Cleveland, right? We want it so that when somebody lands in Cleveland and they walk off the plane and step into the terminal, we want people to say, this is Cleveland, right? So the only way to do that is to talk to Cleveland. So up until this point, I think the survey's been out for maybe a week and a half or so. We've already got 1,500 survey responses. So that's great, but we want more. So we're asking people, we're trying to get it out there. We put it on our social media. We've, done some outreach for the media. So we appreciate you doing this as well. The survey is at the top of our website, clevelandairport.com. We encourage people, this is your chance to give a voice to this project.
And we've seen this in the past where somebody will come in and they'll design a building and people will walk into it and be like, this doesn't look like Cleveland at all, or what was the big idea here? This will perhaps give inspiration to designers, architects, and developers. Is that the end goal?
Absolutely. Yes. So this is your airport, right? It's not just the city of Cleveland's airport. It's everybody who uses its airport. So we want to make sure that everybody has a voice and a say into what happens with this airport. And, their voice is heard as for what they want in an airport. And we did that throughout the master plan process, and now the implementation of the terminal modernization development program. It's a mouthful. But we want your feedback so that when it's all said and done, this is a building that Clevelanders and Northeast Ohioans can be proud of.
And if nothing else, we know that Clevelanders are very proud, a very proud city, a very proud region here. And so be able to say, hey, I lent my voice to this project. I filled out the survey. That way there is sort of that sense of ownership. Anything else you'd like to add, whether it's on the survey or the renovations in general? A lot of people heading to the airport this time of the year. We see some construction underway. What do you want people to know about Cleveland Hopkins?
Sure. So I think next year is going to be a pretty big year for us. We're going to start laying a lot of that foundation and groundwork for what it will ultimately be a new terminal. We will be renovating the house while we're living in it, so to speak. So, over the next 5 years or so, we're going to ask for people to have some patience with us and know that there could be some dust in the air around here, but that ultimately everything that we're doing from here on out is to make this experience when they're traveling through our airport as seamless, as least stressful and enjoyable as possible, and while also being quick and efficient at the same time.
Excellent. Michelle Dinya is a public information officer for Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. Michelle, we certainly appreciate the time. Hope things go smoothly out there at the CLE, because the last thing people need are headaches at the airport. They just want to get where they're going. We appreciate the time. Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, take care. Again, the survey, you can find it at cleveland19.com. We've got the article up now. Make sure your voice is heard. You've got a chance to have some input here, and then perhaps the next time you go to the airport or over the next few years, you'll be able to say, hey, I had a hand in that. I made a suggestion similar to that. So very cool project at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. So that we can modernize what we know as travel. If we have any other breaking news, it'll be right here on our digital platforms. Until then, remember, we start 3.5 hours of news at 3 o'clock and weather on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19. Have a great day.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and follow us on social media